I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining on what we call maybe a future classic. You know, when you talk about classic cars and classic style, all cars somewhere along the line typically go out of style, but some continue to roll on and roll on, and you see it go down the road and you go, wow, that is a great looking car. You say, well, I don't really know why it's a great looking car, but it's still a great looking car. Well, I think as we walk around this car here, you'll see these are starting to rise now. They're starting to go up in value, so you don't want to be on that train where you miss the Copo Camaros or the Sunbeam Tigers or the Cobras or something like that, where these cars appreciated over time, right? Because they were low production, they were expensive when they were new, and the reason they were low production is because they were so expensive when they were new. So for instance, like this car right here, it's a 41,000 mile original 12-cylinder Jag convertible, all right? Well, probably we should say Jaguar Cabriolet, right? Anyway, with the signal red paint, tan leather interior, and then look inside, because inside it's got the red piping to match it. It's got the original stock wheels. This car's all stock except for a stainless steel exhaust system. And the stainless steel exhaust was, first off, added horsepower because everything was clogged up. They wanted these cars to be super quiet because they were very luxurious, right? They're very luxurious, expensive cars. I think the 12-cylinder needed to have some sound, and this thing sounds great. So when we fire it up for you, you know exactly what we're talking about. Anyway, come on up here, and we'll look at something that I love to do all the time, and that's talk about paint. So here we are in the harsh lights of the showroom, and then when you can see just the detail, and you can read all of the words, not here, but actually in the paint, you can see what time it is. Those kinds of things, that's what you should be looking for when you're buying a classic and collectible car like this. If someone else is showing you a car, perhaps you're on the internet looking at another car, which would surprise me that you would leave me, but if, let's just say that you were, all right, have them do that for you. Have them check the interior, give you some pictures of the underneath of the car. How's the engine compartment? Has the car been checked over 120 points, right? Does the air conditioning blow cold? Do the seats move? Those kinds of things over time stop working. In this car here, for instance, all of those things are working exactly like they're supposed to. The power convertible top is done. It has been replaced over time with a new one, so it looks great as well. The paint, obviously, this car has been garage kept at home and at work, so it's wonderful. Has a new set of Radial tires on it, all right? And other than that, it's really a spectacular example. But I do want to show you the detail under the hood. I want to get inside, show you the trunk, and give you an idea of what it looks like when you are driving. All right, so come on in here, because this is a really important part of the car itself. So as you walk up inside here, and you can kind of see some things. For instance, the original decals are still in the place that they're supposed to be. We are talking 1990, right? And how long ago this was. The detail in here. The air conditioning compressor, I replaced that compressor because it was aged. It was the original one, and over time it was going to eventually probably not do its job anymore, so I just replaced that. It wasn't expensive. The great thing about this is it has some very inexpensive parts on it. The air conditioning compressor was one of those things. Sound insulation still in here. Look at the emissions decal. It's still perfect. Still pieces for DOT to import the car here into the area. And you say, well, why are you spending so much time showing me those kinds of things? Well, I'm showing you those kinds of things because if this car was in an accident, for instance, and the hood had to be replaced, you can't buy these decals. They're not for sale. Here's the rest of them on over there, okay? Telling you a little more about the emissions, how the hood should shut, those kinds of things. Those kinds of decals you can't purchase anymore. And you couldn't purchase them either because they came on the car, all right? This has an upgraded intake system here to give you a little more power. So we're about the 300 horsepower mark right now, and most of the stock parts come with it if you want to put them on. The exhaust doesn't come with it because I think it sounds nice and it still looks good, but we'll see if we have the air cleaners. I'm not sure if you're even going to want them because they kind of hold the car back from its performance. But what I wanted to spend the time was showing you how beautiful like the wiring colors still were. They aren't greasy and dirty. The cruise control system, emission systems, all those things are all really, really good shape, and all that stuff's working just like it's supposed to. And then what you do is just close this lightly like this, and the handle's inside here. Push that, and next thing you know, you're latched and you're ready to go. All right, so come on up here. Wow, this is nice. This may not seem like a big deal to you, but for me, when I'm looking at a car and I'm looking to purchase one, when I see some certain things in the trunk, I know that somebody's cared about this car at a different level. Some people just drive them to drive them. They don't care about their cars. They're just cars. Other people love it when they buy it. Keep in mind, in 1990, this car was very expensive. Very expensive. Mercedes, SL competition expensive, maybe even more in some cases based on options. So for instance, like here, this car has a car cover with it. it has the bag for the tonneau cover that goes over top of the convertible top, right? It has in it, if you wanted, just some information about the Jag, service and parts manuals, if you wanted those. They come with the car, right? And that says to me right there that somebody did that. The original jack is over there tied up. That's the battery cover. Here's the original wheel for the car, right? Original decal right here. This is an important decal. And don't minimize that. This is the VIN number to the car. It's on the trunk lid. You can't buy that decal. That means the trunk lid is original and it hasn't been replaced. Meaning it hasn't been in an accident, and that's had that happen. Stainless is all beautiful. Here's the exhaust I talked about. Here's the stainless exhaust with extra little bit of tip right there and a little bit of extra growl, right? Nothing wrong with a little extra growl from the 12-cylinder. Okay, before we get in, I want to let you know that first of all, this is a great storage area in here, okay? Great big storage area, right? Then it holds some more soft luggage there, some more soft luggage in the trunk, or some people, they actually sell a seat for here as well. So maybe you're not going to be 6'1" like myself and sit here, but kids, dogs, stuff like that, they can add those to. This is the tonneau cover that goes over that. All right, now we're going to get inside, and this is the part that I love so much about this car, the condition of this. For instance, like the wood here, it's still in great shape. It hasn't been split. Piping on the seats looks great. Check out the color inside here. This is beautiful. And then throw in one last thing where you have mats on top of mats. That's when you know somebody really cares. I love Cocoa floor mats. I just think they're super elegant for their time. Seat is here, and then it's got lumbar. All right, original wood shifter knob, original radio still in place. And if you want to, we can upgrade the radio, and we can either hide it in the glove box here, right, with a modern radio, so this stays the same, or we can put the modern radio there, whatever you like. That way you'd be able to handle like the digital sound upgrades, like let's say you wanted satellite, Bluetooth, stuff like that. We can put that in there. You could stream it just from your phone. These are the lamps here, the reading lamps underneath that, rear defroster. It's got climate control, cruise control, power top, power windows, power locks, and a full array of gauges. A 7,000 RPM tach and 165 mile an hour speedometer. Sorry, 160 mile an hour speedometer. I don't want you to yell at me if you can't get it to go 165, but at least you get 160, all right? All right, so close up the video and we think about sports cars, and really some of the best and greatest sports cars ever, Ferrari, Porsche, things like that, red and tan. Think about that, red and tan was the sports car colors. This car here, signal red, great British color, tan interior with red piping on the seats, just enough wood inside, 12-cylinder engine, and then you throw in some luxury things like air conditioning, power windows, power locks, fully independent four-wheel suspension, four-wheel disc brakes. I mean, these cars are very ahead of their time. Even back in the 60s when they were built, they were very high performance. And the more we look at the trim and how rare this car is, not to mention being driven a little over 1,000 miles a year. 1,000 miles, maybe 1,500 miles a year, shows it's a great collectible car. This is an awesome car for the money. You got to figure a way to get it in your life. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this XJS Cabriolet. All right, so typically these cars would have almost no sound at all. They're meant to be really quiet because they were luxury cars. Nothing quiet at Flemings, including myself, not this Jaguar, not Colin, la 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 la, and now Ricky, who's filming this stuff as well. Everybody wants a little piece of the sound, but let's let the Jag do the talking and everybody else can do the walking.